This is a burrowing owl, an 8-inch bird that lives underground with a real talent for side-eye. Today I'll walk you through finding and photographing these little owls, and also what makes them so unique from their other owl cousins. Excuse all the noise, I'm also near the airport, so there's a lot of planes going by. Burrowing owls are the tiniest owls you've probably ever seen. They average around 7 to 9 inches tall, but they have a nice little Napoleon complex to them. They're often found in grasslands, deserts, but in my case, a local park with some rocks down by the water. Unlike most owls, you won't find these guys up in trees. You'll actually find them hopping and running around on the ground. And like their name might suggest, they actually burrow into the ground as well. I was just walking around and I saw one of the owls fly out of its hiding spot in that burrow over to the rocks. Burrowing owls are actually the only species of owl to live underground, and they often take over old abandoned burrows from other animals like coyotes or squirrels, because if somebody already did a good job, why do the digging yourself? Another weird quirk about these owls is, unlike most, they're actually active during both day and nighttime. And this is great for photography because you won't have to be fighting those last few minutes of sundown to get a clear picture of them. And that's what I'm here for, getting great images of them. There's actually one right behind me that you can't see. See, there he is. And I'm gonna walk you through some helpful tips on taking photos of burrowing owls. First off, as I mentioned, these are owls that hang out on the ground, so you're going to want to hang out down there with them. I've found that pictures taken closer to eye level, no matter what the subject, tend to look better than ones taken way above or from way below. The photos look more like you're living amongst the animals rather than just observing them from some far off place. You also tend to get an opportunity for some more interesting backgrounds when you have a lower angle. A great thing about owls in general is they tend to hold super still poses as they dart their head around, so take advantage of this for your photography. I went over this a bit in my Wildlife 101 video. If you missed that, link above or below, or wherever YouTube puts it now. So even though these owls are out in the day, if you don't have that perfect amount of sunlight to have your ISO low, you can drop your shutter speed and take more shots as they freeze and stare at the camera, and a couple of those will probably end up sharp and with less noise than if you had cranked your shutter speed up. But how do you get a wild owl to look straight into the camera? In my experience with these owls, they tend to really only look directly at you if you're moving or if you're making some noise. Now, this doesn't mean you should move suddenly at the owls and whistle at them to get their attention, but it does mean you can shoot while you're moving in closer, or what I've found works well and isn't too disturbing to the owls is if I'm sitting down and taking a shot, I'll kind of move my leg around the ground and drag some rocks, and that's enough to get their attention without scaring them away. And obviously don't take this stuff too far or they will run away. A general rule in wildlife photography is you want to be observing the animals, not disturbing them. You don't want to be the reason that the owl goes back underground. So just don't make too much noise, don't get too close. They won't attack you, but they will stare at you and judge you. So where can you find these little guys? Well, like I mentioned before, they tend to hang out in flat, empty areas like prairies, grasslands, deserts, or in my case, the local park. But they also only live in certain parts of the world, namely the Americas. Here on this map you can see they live all over the place, but they only tend to stick around year-long in certain areas. Here in the Bay Area I found that they only tend to stick around in the winter. I observed a group of them here last year as well, and I think they left around February or March. If you're looking for exactly where to find burrowing owls in your area, there's great resources online like iNaturalist or eBird that let you look at a map of local sightings and see when they were spotted and where. Make sure you pay attention to what days and times they're spotted near you. They might, like here, only stay around during certain parts of the year or only be active during certain parts of the day. I found that during this mid-afternoon time in the winter, a few hours before sunset, it's great for lighting, and they've also been really active. But I know they're also probably active earlier in the day. I just don't feel like waking up before sunrise to come take pictures. So now you know some more about the weird, tiny little owls that live underground called burrowing owls. And like I said, they live all over the Americas, so take a look online and see if anyone near you has spotted them. They're so funny to watch. I always find them because they're locking eyes with you, and that little eyebrow that they have looks like they're judging you. They're such funny little creatures, and I'm so glad that we have them here in the Bay Area. If you like this video and you want to learn more about wildlife photography, check out the rest of my channel. I've got guides like this, location guides, gear reviews, and more. And if there's something that I haven't covered, let me know down below and I can maybe cover it in the next one. And as I always have to say, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.